do y'all think that that versus and the affiliation that they showed to wherever they're from, do y'all think that that was a bad look for West Coast hip hop in general? And do you think that prohibits maybe Apple or Versus from giving somebody from the West Coast another versus platform again because of that?
We basically spoke on
Did
this
y'all?
already.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
nah, but it's good. But for us, I mean, for being from the West Coast, I think it was a good look. I think if you ain't saluting that, you low key just hating on it because for them to be able to boogie down the way they did and still show the authentic energy, regardless how people felt about Game. Like I said, I felt like Game made that shit, regardless with his antics or not. He was lit. He had it very entertaining, and just them, you know what I mean. They shout out to K Boy. they brought the crip out on stage. He got to do his thing. You know they saluted Nipsey. I feel like they did it all the way cool. It wasn't really what people expect. What I mean, what they expect is the fighting, somebody getting popped or something like that. We didn't hear nothing about that. It's been smooth since it happened, and I think they represent it. If Apple do got a problem with that, is because they scared of niggas being too turned up, which we know a lot of these folks is. That's why they don't want to deal with us as a people because we too authentically ourselves, which they afraid to be.
I'm gonna be honest. It was a good look for the coast. It was a good look for hip hop. It was a good look for West Coast hip hop. Now these companies like the Apples and the Spotify's, these Hollywood companies, they want to make the money off of the culture, and then they want to see before the culture out in Hollywood. But when the real culture shows up to give a show, oh, now it's too real. When is it not too real? When you making millions off of it behind the scenes and you ain't got to be right up front with it, or the world don't get to see the real culture because they got no problem putting these fake ass rappers who emulate the West Coast culture from other regions up. They got no problem doing that. But when they come to the gangland, they come to the homeland, the creators of the shit, now it's a problem. What happened? They went up there, they represented their sets, they represented the West, they represented West Coast hip hop, and they kept it hip hop. Gang turned up. He got the verses. This is the most mentioned I done heard about the verses since Jadakiss did what he did in New York. So if anything, Apple should be giving Game a motherfucking bonus for getting up there down in that Don Julio bottle and acting a goddamn fool. Because they got millions on millions on millions of impressions and hits and streams and people running to Apple to go play a lot of them damn songs. So Apple really, pardon me, needs to be saluting.
Also,
Gang got the algorithm on
and
fire
I don't know if
right
you
now.
noticed this. Hold on. You missed one thing. Apple just went up on their prices as soon as the versus battle went up. I don't know if y'all noticed. Apple prices went up with that. So now more people are going to flood Apple. And I will say this. It was a lot memeable offense. Because again, how many memes did you just see of Game after you finished that? Hey, blood, you drunk? You're like, it's just so much shit. It gave so much clout to the versus battle. Like you said, no, bro. How we always talk about how hip hop is come and go when we talk about albums. I'm not even trying to get to the point. What I'm saying is this: we're still touching on this, and it's been almost a week now. It was a week. It was a week ago,
Yeah.
and we're still talking about it. That let you know how lit it was. And I will say this: shout out to the West Coast for being the West Coast. That's how we really party. Again, them fake ass rappers. I ain't gonna say that nigga name from Canada, but like that's the safeness they want. They want that. They want to get close to the flame. Nigga, they was in the pits of hell with that versus battle because that's really how we really party out here when you at a hood function, bro. Got it. You got the whole turned up. You got the homies who fresh that just got just got put on. He dropped the flag. Oh, that's a DP. Nigga, that's how niggas really party when they in their section, homie, and they amongst their peers.
And here's the thing. For those of you who not from the coast, y'all don't even understand that was peaceful. So for y'all to be sitting here like, oh my God, that was us, the homies, being on their best behavior, but still showing their authentic self. And although we was clowning and our game was faded, looking back, seeing the memes, watching it again, oh, he was definitely entertaining and still being authentically himself and showing what we about as a coast, as a region. And that really was
Probably
the
rated
peaceful
Jazzy.
version.
No.
Quite literally. Because everybody sitting there like that was outrageous. That was really them being, hey man, we on TV, we chilling, but we giving y'all a glimpse of what we really about. Because as you stated, someone mentioned, I don't know who said it, oh, I know going in, oh, it's gonna be some bull crap, it's gonna be super ghetto, it's gonna be violence. Ultimately, oh, it's gonna be violence. If you not from out here, if that look violent to you, stay where you at.
But I just want to know what's the difference between any other verses when it comes to rappers, right? Like it's always 100 niggas on stage with bottles doing their thing. I think the only difference is what there was flags on stage, let's really keep it 100. Like, I don't think that it was that different than other verses we've seen. It's just people have they like to misunderstand the West Coast. And I don't even want to say that, but everybody can respect everybody's regionalism until it comes to the West Coast, I feel like. Then it becomes a problem. Then everything becomes under a microscope. But when it's New York or when it's Chicago or when it's down south, everybody can look at it and respect
Everybody
it
can
for
do what
what
they
it
want.
is, and however raunchy or rowdy it gets, that's cool. But when the West Coast do it, again, nothing even happened. You had Gucci up there talking about how he smoked old boy's homie and rolled him up and packed him up on live television to him. You didn't even see none of that on this. You saw two people from different sections under the same color or whatever you want to call it come together, bring other colors out, celebrate, had Big Boy out there, had some women up there drinking, doing their thing. Like every other verses you've really seen, for whatever reason, the West Coast just gets flack for the gang affiliation, I guess. But again, there's gangs everywhere. It's hoods everywhere, it's sets everywhere, it's niggas doing that same thing everywhere. So I just think people are determined to put us in a certain type of box or give us a certain type of look that they don't want to give other cultures or other regions just because they don't fuck with us at the end of the day.
I think it's a lot of that, but I think it's a lot of reputation of what the West Coast is. I think that's one of the biggest things, and it's more to a point where it's like, damn, we might have just breathed life back into them now, and we know what happened when the West Coast was on top. We know how they was moving. Do we really want to see that again? Oh, that shit is still there. Like, even though we've been able to taint it and try to do whatever we wanted to do to make them look away, them niggas, they just put themselves in a different light.
Let a sleeping dog lie, and that's what it is. You just basically kind of woke it up.
Yeah, so now once you're gonna get more people that want to either outdo that or get to the point, like you said. And it's just, the biggest fact is because they gang members. I don't care what people think or where they see gang members right now. The perception they have of what gang members are supposed to be, a lot of them people project their fears already. So they fearing through the screen in the sense of what's gonna happen. And it's like, damn, these niggas is wild. They acting like animals, like you said. But we looking at it like, damn, them niggas turned. That's just how it is when you around the homies, you turning up, you drinking, smoking. You got the broads around. It's like, nigga, we having a good time. But for other people, it's like, you see how niggas be acting when they really get around West Coast niggas that's turned up. Niggas be like,
they be turned down.
Yeah,
Super.
exactly.
They be
But you know why? Because
Yeah.
you took the thought right out of my head. It is, yes, there's gangs everywhere, but nobody, no section,
Can't
no
do it.
country, no state made the imprint that California West Coast gangs made on the entire world. So when you see that on full display, like that power bar on the video game, that shit was on 10 at that versus. When
Super
that's
Saiyan
on
mode.
10, Super Saiyan mode, niggas like, damn. Because they used to, them West Coast gangbang niggas goofy because they watching shit on No Jumper. They watching the bloggers. So in their mind, that's what the West turned into. Now they got to see, like, hold on, like bro just said, them niggas is still out there trooping. We don't want that shit back at 100 like the Death Row days.
Man,
You
crazy?
got a glimpse to see the real members. Like, a lot of times it is a small percent of real niggas on the internet, but the niggas that don't want to be in the cameras all the time, the niggas that's really shaded off, but I'm here because it's a big event. You got to see real members on stage. You got to see, so you got to see a lot of different perspectives on how things is handled and moved accordingly.
Man.
That was perfect because you just said real members was there. And not to cut you off, Rod, one thing. We were talking about this in Viral. You know about this. Rumor is the host said something at the end of the day, like, I don't think we're going to ever do this again. It's because it was on full display. And from what I'm hearing, that people lost their jobs over this. At the end of the day, you need, for what? They were really doing what you got views there. We're talking about it. What else more? Wasn't no violence happening. Didn't nobody threaten nobody or anything like you just said. Gucci just said, we know this for a fact. Gucci got away with unaliving somebody that came from Jeezy camp. Wasn't none of that even being brought up on that versus battle. And we all know where both of them niggas is from. Neither one of them is they hoods ain't no slouch over there where they at. You get what I'm saying?
Well, ultimately, I mean, I agree with everybody said. I think we gave a PC version. Like YG said, man, y'all niggas is haters. Everybody mimic they shit after us. Our hoods is in y'all cities. Ain't none of y'all hoods or factions in our cities.
One is the BPS. The Stone.
Yeah.
That's from
Okay.
Chicago.
That's different too.
I'm
That's
speaking.
different,
I'm speaking.
Now let them cook though.
But what I'm
but you're
saying
right,
what I'm saying is, ultimately, it come down to the hate. Y'all hate to love us, or y'all love to hate us. But it's hate involved in there. You mimic your style after us, whether it be the culture of just Cali, the West Coast, the gangsterism that is, all of that. Y'all lingo, all of that. Snoop even said it. Where you think y'all get y'all game from? Y'all style from? Y'all swag from? From over here. Y'all watched it, didn't y'all? And you probably watched it again. So ultimately, motherfuckers just be hating and they look for a reason to try to downplay us every chance they get while simultaneously biting our style. And as YG said, y'all come out here, y'all like the lifestyle, y'all like the weather, y'all like the women. Hey, if we go back to what it really was when you got off that plane at LAX, that kind is gonna go back to that. Then y'all really gonna think something wrong. So enjoy what y'all seen, respect it. If it's not your style, fine. But all that dissing, knock that off. Y'all just be hating. You can't relate, say that. I listen to stuff in other regions. I don't necessarily down it. I'll say, hey, you know what? I can't relate. It's just that simple. But all the hating, that's unnecessary. Y'all get y'all style from right here, all the way down to the most square person in Cali. It's just that simple.
And I was speaking from my perspective more so towards the Apples and the TV networks and shit like that. That's because it's business wise if they're not allowing them to get to a point. And people got to understand the difference too. Gang banging is an active participant sport. What y'all seen on display was niggas just banged out. They wasn't really tripping. They wasn't really doing nothing.
There was a lot of members up there.
Yeah, in a sense of what y'all think. So they can be all them niggas up there gang banging. I guess if you want to say that,
Hey,
throwing up
Masai,
signs.
you know what it is.
No, this is the point I'm getting at too, because we see people on the biggest scales like the NBA. When them niggas make threes, what they throwing up now? I remember at one point they was throwing up the B. They was doing this. Now they nipped and made them all got throwing up neighborhood.
Throwing up neighborhood now.
You know what I'm saying? So if that's the case, they're gang banging in the NBA when they score. So it's no
the only real
different.
game banger was Terry. He just throw the C up. From what he played for?
You talking about
Dallas.
Jason Terry?
Yeah, Jason Terry.
It's a few
That
other
was
real. It was a few other real niggas. Zebo and them. Yeah.
It was a few cats out there really chunking up. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, like really game banging though when he made his shot.
Paul Pierce.
Yeah.
He was throwing
Russell
it up.
Westbrook.
Yeah, like it was.
Pierce was.
Who else?
Unfortunately, when Nip passed, he said, bro, when he got the 20 rebounds, 20 points, and
He said
20
that was
assists,
for Nip.
he was
huh?
like, yeah, y'all know what it is, 20 plus 20 plus 20. If you really know what it is, for Nip. And let's just be real. They all do it because, again, especially you from this just say SoCal, bro. A non-affiliate is still an affiliate at the end of the day, because when you go to the neighborhood, when you go to your grandmother's house, when you go to the local park, it's a hood there. Bro, you cannot run from it. Are you actively putting in work for that section? No. But you know somebody that's part of that community, so you're essentially affiliated, bro. At the end of the day, when you really from LA, Long Beach, the surrounding area, whatever part you want to claim, bro, you're affiliated. Even if you're a non-affiliate, you're still affiliated, bro. Because at the end of the day, when you amongst the homies, you go say cuz, you go say blood, you go say groove, you go say some type of lingo that's out here, homie. Like I said, you go, nigga, I got family from the projects, homie. And sometimes I be catching myself doing the 3 up top with them folks. You know what I'm saying? Because them just my family members. But, bro, it's intoxicating when you get around this shit. It's kind of hard to be the good kid in the mad city, homie. The shit is that you just pick it up, bro. It's like tying your shoe out here. You somehow, some way, it don't matter what part of the area you in. I remember once upon a time, they used to say Carson would say, nigga, hell no, nigga. I started going around. I'm like, nigga, East Coast is in Carson. What the fuck? This shit ain't. Bro, no matter what part of the safeness in the city, nigga, it's always a hood there.